Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth and today we're working in our planner. Here I have last week's planner design using some hero art stuff, and I'm showing that we're going to work on 2 weeks. So we're going to continue the dragon theme and pull out the hero arts castle. It's a 2-part step. That silver is how the windows are filled. You need both pieces to cut out the white piece of the castle, and then you cut another solid one to fill in behind the castle. It's a pretty cool little die. Now, I write on my pages the dates that need to go on there so I can build my book properly. So I have to erase them before I get to ink blending, because once you lay ink on top of pencil, it won't erase. And I'm just getting 2 shades of green to lay in some land, because we all need a place to build the castle. So I'm just scrubbing the brush on. Nothing fancy today, just scrub that ink on there nice and quick. Zoom through this. After applying the darker shade at the bottom of the page, I'm using a colored pencil and I'm doing a V with a line through the middle just to make some tall scraggles of grass, and then coming in with short little strokes to put in some short grass. Nothing fancy, super quick right there. And I'm gonna pull in some shades of blue to do my clouds, which I am pulling out my personal I made that cloud stencil and I love it. I use it all the time. As you can see, the poor thing is stained even after cleaning it. But one side I did short little bubbles, and the other side I did some bigger bubbles, and I can mix and match them pretty darn good. There's a lot of companies that have cloud stencils. Great investment if you don't want to make one yourself. They are, like I said, a really good investment. They just make the clouds so quick. I mean, even without fast forwarding, this didn't take me very long at all. So once we get our clouds in, we're gonna put our castle back, and we're gonna make some actual clouds for our writing areas, because I wanted something different for my pages. I realized I'm not using my full pages to do all the writing, and I didn't want to waste the space. So putting that huge die in there, it works for me because I know I don't need that much room to write. Plus, next year, next month, next week, when I'm flipping through my book, it's a little reminder that, hey, Hero Arts has this great castle die or these great stamps and stuff. It's really a good idea for us crafty people to put our crafts into our planners. Not just go buy store-bought stickers and stuff, but actually use what we have in our stash to fill in our area. Now, if you're one that needs more room to write and you still want to use your castle, maybe you cut like the bottom third of it off, the bottom half of it off, and put it down the page more, as if maybe it's really big and, you know, we're looking beyond the castle, and just have it at the little corner of your page. You could cut it in half the long ways and put it on the edge so it's just like poking through. You could do a 2-page layout, cut your castle in half and put it in the center of the book. So one half is on one page and one half is on the other page. Lots of ideas to use these ginormous dies. And you can cut them out of copy paper. You can cut them out of whatever kind of paper you want. I did use some fancy shimmer paper. You guys can't see it, but my castle shimmers. And here we are cutting out the last crazy looking cloud. And you can see these are not cloud shapes. They're just wonky little bubbles that I can write in, because I need 3 days on this page and it's going to be fabulous. What we're going to do is we're going to ink blend the edges though, because when we lay one white cloud on another white cloud, they kind of get lost. So you're going to pick a nice blue that'll go with the blue that you laid down for your base clouds, and just ink up the edges nice and light. Okay, once we get all of our parts ready, my base paper is the paper for the planner, so it's super thin. So I'm going to adhere my pieces with a glue stick. That'll help from glue lines showing up on the other side where I have those dragons stamped. And it's really easy. I use the big Elmer's Glue Craft Bond stick, and just swipe it right there on your glass mat. Any glue that you get on your glass mat, you're going to hose it down with a little bit of water and a little scraper if it's really crusty, and it comes right off. I've never had any problem with that. Be sure to align your castle properly. Mine is a wee bit crooked. And here I am writing the dates on these little bubbles. You don't have to do the dates, which is really great. So if you don't fill out the page, you can use it in another planner. And here is the little dragon and his little fireball from when I cut out the base of the castle. And we're just gonna glue those little cutie patooties down, and that's it. This page is done. All I gotta do is write whatever I need to in those little bubbles, and we're good to go. But see, that's where the little dragon is. And I just left those on there because I don't want to lose them. Okay, so set that aside. And we've got our fish bowl. We've got our fish bowl. Now, this fish die is very interesting. It's like the castle. The castle part, you have to have two pieces, or your castle does this, where it just has the image in your full sheet of paper. So you can do different things with that castle as well. Here, I didn't use the outline like I did on the castle, so that fish pops up right in the bowl. And the fish and the bowl are part of the Hero Art set. I got both the castle and the fish at Joann's. Here, I'm erasing those numbers again, because if we stamp on them, we can't erase them. This is the Bubbles, I think it's called Bubbles, rubber stamp, also by Hero Arts. I was at first going to tap it on, but I was like, no, we need to take the paper to the bubbles, because that little square just isn't going to cover our entire paper. So we're going to fill in our paper very randomly and make those bubbles. Now, to get the fish a little bit of depth, I did take a embossing tool, a stylus, the thing with the balls on the ends, and rub it all over the back of the fish in certain areas, like the gills, the tail, stuff like that, to help it pop up off the page. And in real life, it's really cool. It stands out. It's really, really dimensional. I've never used this fish that way. I've always used it and then used the outline and cut it out. But I like having it stand out like that in the fish bowl. And I'm just using a little bit of glossy accents to add some highlights to the bowl and the bubbles, because those bubbles and the void area are going to be our areas of writing. So this one's going to be a little bit interesting. You know, I can grab my pen and write right over the stamped bubbles, because it's just a water-based ink, and it's going to be very accepting to my pens. And I just put glossy accents on the fun stuff for the fishy. And here we are on week 2. I did take a heat tool to the glossy accents. I almost burnt it. If you leave the heat tool too long, it will bubble up. So just be cautious of that. I'm erasing the dates again. And this time I wrote the dates on the glass mat, because I had to go back and remember what the dates were on the other side. after I erased them, I kind of forgot what I needed. So I just wrote it with a Sharpie on the glass mat because it's going to rub right off. Now, the bluish green piece of paper has stars built in. So I went to the Dragons Hero Art set and grabbed their stars to make my grid paper match. So you can definitely do that. Make your paper any way you want. I like journaling like this. My planner journal, it's kind of a combo, right? Because not only do I write appointments, but I write things that are important to me in there. Yeah, you can zhuzh them up any way you want. Now, I'm using leftover pages because I bought the page refills in bulk and then never used them a couple years ago. So I'm just building my planner like an art planner where I can do this. And even if you buy pages that are pre-printed, you can still do this. Take your favorite shapes, run them around the edges. You can make them look like a little bit of you along with the store-bought. Okay, just like we're gonna do on the other side where it's got the words. I don't really want the words because babes, I think it's babes supporting babes. Not my kind of terminology. Great sentiment, but not my terminology, right? So let's cover it up with some washi. Great way to introduce that. Great way to remind yourself that, hey, you have this beautiful washi in your stash. And I just took a couple pieces to fill in the area, and I did it the same on both sides so my pages could be kind of cohesive. Isn't that just fabulous? And then this is going to be probably the easiest spread. We're going to grab a couple of fish and the cat bowl and the cat for the one page. And I do apologize, I'm kind of off screen. I've been out of whack, let me tell you. So I'm stamping the fish bowl and the cat in color so I don't have to color them in. So I've put my fish bowl down in a blue and I'm going to stamp my cat in a brown. And I just eyeball this. That's why I'm using the stamping block. I don't need it to be too fancy. We're just going to stamp that cat right over the fish bowl. And to do it perfectly, I think I would stamp the cat and mask the cat off and then stamp the bowl. Because I feel like the bowl, well, I don't feel it. The bowl runs right through the cat face. So I kind of missed, I think. I should have put the bowl down a little bit. But if you mask off the cat, it wouldn't matter. And then we're going to pick a couple of colors to color our fish. And all I'm doing is tapping them together. And then we're going to stamp our fish in a two-tone colors. And it's going to be cute. Ta-da! Rainbow fish with our cat. And I think that's it for that page. Let me... Oh, no, I got to do our... Yeah. There's a little splash and then a little puddle that we add. And all of that stuff is in the same stamp set by Hero Arts. Also got it at Joann's. I got most of my Hero Art stuff there at Joann's on the 40% off coupons. You know the coupons, right? We all love those coupons. So we're moving on to the second page, which again, super easy. We didn't spend a lot of time on this. We put a couple of the grass at the bottom, which you can't see because, oh, no, here, okay. Did I move it up enough? Maybe. There's the grass from the second set of fish by Hero Arts. And we're just going to stamp the grass in different shades of green across the bottom. And then we're going to put two little fishies in there. You guys, this is one of the easiest. Just stamp, stamp, stamp. And you're done. So you open up those colors. You do your light one first. And you just space them. And raise them and lower them. So they're not all the same height. Okay. See, some is off the page. Some is fully on the page. Stuff like that. get your second darkest color and go in with another round of the same foliage and then darken it up. And then I'm going to pick up my little shrub of grass from the cat bowl set, this little dinky thing, and I'm getting my darkest green. And I'm going to stamp those kind of together, little clusters, and we have our stamped bottom. I mean, look at that. That's it. And this is only sped up by 2, so it's pretty easy. Sorry for the snivels. Allergies are killing me today. I got itchy nose. And then the fish, I'm dabbing on some colors and then another color on top, which makes this fish kind of in the browns colors, which I thought was really pretty. Although I did miss a little bit of stamping in the center, but it still looks good. I'll lift it up and show you here in just a momento. And here we're getting a couple of shades of the purples with a red over the top. And there it is. There's that red over the top. Look at it. Here we go. Last stamp. These pages are done. But there's the 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Looky, looky. Isn't that cat the cutest? Checking out that fishbowl. Well, those are my pages. And here we got to put our writing bubbles on. And I'm like, okay, I did these ones kind of linear. What did I do? I was debating. That's me debating, flicking the paper. And then I'm like, okay, let's just make some squiggle wiggles for rectangles. Because I need 3 rectangles, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday for the first page. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on the next page. So I do it very, very lightly in pencil. Okay, we don't want to push too hard. We just want to be able to erase it if we make a mistake, like we're going to do right here on this page. I make all of these circles and I'm like, yeah, that's utterly disgusting. Where's my eraser? So I just erase it because we can do that. We do it super, super light, a nice soft pencil lead that will erase easily. And I did want circles for this one. I just didn't want the ugly circles I made. So I reached behind me and I'm going to grab out my stencils in just a minute. Not stencils. Hero Arts circle die cuts. The same circles we use to make bubbles with our fish in the fishbowl on the other side. Here I'm tracing my boxes because I haven't quite, at this point, I haven't decided to make perfect circles. And I think this next one, I'm like, ooh, let's do circles, but good circles on the next page. And I'm just using gel pens to highlight my little areas. And if your gel pen kind of stops up, with warm fingers, you can rub the end. What happens is that little ball at the end seizes. And so you try and warm that little ball up and get it rolling. And sometimes they're picky. You have to hold them a specific way. But you can get most of those ink pens rolling again. But there's my bubbles, my 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, here we go. Double checking eraser marks. And I'm reaching back for my dies. And I'm just going to pick, I think, 2 or 3 sizes. And I'm just going to play around with them until I find this thing. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you'll see that I moved the die a couple of times. And I did pencil right through the fish. And I'm like, I told myself, don't pencil through the fish. And I done penciled right through the fish. But it erases very nicely. And we're just going to layer some of these bubbles on there. And then those are our days. So each bubble is a day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then a notes one because I really wanted an extra bubble. Like, it doesn't look right. We need another one. but that's okay. See, and I'm using my white Mars eraser. It's one of my favorite erasers, the white Mars. It's very gentle on your paper, and as long as you don't push too hard, it will 100% erase your stuff. And now I'm just tracing over the bubbles very loosely, not perfection here, not perfection at all, very loosely, with the same colors I used on the other page. And you can see that one's trying to seize up again. And just get those nice blue bubbles in there. Look at that. We have areas to write our notes. And remember, just because you put the boundaries there, if you have a longer thing that you need to write, go outside the bubbles. It's not going to hurt it. It'll still show up. Write right over the top of those lines and, do what you need to do. But there's my pages. And I do thank you all for hanging out with me today. And we'll see you the Sunday after next with another planner video. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.